Imagine not feeling safe in a place where you can only go. Imagine a world without abuse or any type of cruelty. Latin America is one of the most dangerous places in the world. 64% of Mexicans are scared of being tortured. There are times where women leave the house and never appear again. What if one of those women was someone you knew? Officers fail to look for missing people and disappearances. Instead, they blame other victims of crimes and tell their families to look for them themselves. Only 7% of reported crimes are taken to court and 3% of criminals are taken to trial. Article 5 is violated in Mexico. It clearly says, "No one shall be subjected to cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or torture." Claudia Medina was faced with federal charges and was accused of being a gang member. There was a day when someone saw her cry out of joy for the first time, when her last charge was dropped. After her arrest, she was tortured and sexually assaulted by the hands of a Marine. At the beginning, I used to see all of this as a monster standing in front of me, something I thought I was not going to be able to overcome. Everyone turns their back on me, Claudia said. Adrian Vasquez was accused of carrying illegal firearms. He was also set up by officers. He was arrested, threatened, tortured, and nearly killed by suffocation. He had lung infections from officers forcing water up his nose until his lungs were filled. He had bladder injuries. He was also severely beaten and had abdominal trauma. Adrian collapsed and was rushed to a hospital for a life-saving surgery from being tortured. He almost lost his life. None of us will truly understand what Claudia and Adrian have been through. What we can do is try to make a difference. Gladly, there are some wrongs that are not used anymore. In the past, they could have tied you to a horse and dragged you. Also, they would shoot you in parts of your body where you would not die just to make you suffer. Fox was the president of Mexico, and he was elected in 2000. He wanted to make the violations against human rights stop and make Mexico a better place with no use of torture or any other wrong use of actions. Unfortunately, not many changes were made. It is important for us to know that there are still good people in our government today. On December 17, 2010, 151 inmates escaped from prison. The next year, 61 criminals ran off from the same facility. The sad thing is, this is not the first time this has happened. There has been many more incidents like this before. The security is very poor, and this needs to change in Mexico. Only 1 in 4 crimes are reported to the police, and when they are, there's that chance that officers will disobey human rights. I recommend that we make sure we have a strong protection and security patrol. Officers and authorities that will actually look for missing loved ones. People who will try their best to help the people in Mexico. There needs to be authorities in control of authorities. We need to do background checks for them. There needs to be people who are reinforced and just like the military justice system. This will allow rules and boundaries for those who disrespect the human rights. If these changes are not made, people will just stop calling the police altogether. They will think it is a waste of time. Then who will protect us? Will all of us be controlled by authorities? Will all of us be tortured? Criminals are almost never taken to prison or jail, but yet there are people who are innocent who spend their time behind bars. How can something like this happen? No one should be excused from their wrongs, and no one should have their back turned on like Claudia and Adrian again.